What's up, everybody? Despite the COVID scare, I'm gonna go take a flight to Atlanta. Let's journey together and see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to SeaTac Airport, take American Airlines. Hopefully everything will go good. We'll go see the situation on the ground for ourselves. This was a $35 flight, so I had to jump on this opportunity to see my mama and to, hopefully see what's up with Atlanta for the next little while. At least until the quarantine is over, at least until I know my family's safe. So let's journey. Here is the Ave right here on the UW campus. This has always been a very busy and an epicenter of life when it comes to student living. Anybody who lives in the neighborhood could tell you that on Saturdays in the morning, this place is filled with people. Why? Because you can go to the thrift store and get the best deals on clothes and different shoes. You can go right down the street to the park where you can get a free bite to eat with the food truck, the Hurry Krishma Hurry Round food truck. Every Saturday, there's Bartell Drugs. That's where I work. And all of these things that are a staple of living in the neighborhood have been changed. You can see how a lot of the shops have been forced to close down, and these are all mom and pop owned shops. There are no franchises on the Ave except for maybe Starbucks, which is a local Seattle company, so that's acceptable. But other than that, most of these restaurants are mom and pop owned shops that are suffering now because of what's going on. Basically, the Ave is mostly all closed. Most shops are operating at a minimum. And let's see how the train system is. Let us go and check this out. It's almost eerie to see, this dystopian view of an empty college campus, because most classes are now online, and it is surreal to see all of this space being filled by no one. I'm the only one walking around until I came to a point on my journey where I did find a courtyard, and in this courtyard, everybody was kind of enjoying themselves. And I think the reason why everyone was enjoying themselves was because of these beautiful trees. Check out these trees. Quite a serene view. Everybody was gathered at this place of meeting. You can see these beautiful trees. It was the second day of spring, so you had some people, some brave people, stepping outside. But as I continued the walk after the patch of people, there was barely anybody else on the streets. The most eerie of views is seeing all the UW vehicles just being parked, not being used. I came to the train station, and to my surprise, I didn't have to pay anything because they are not taking any money during a time of crisis like this. So continue on the journey. Platform is the cleanest I've seen in a long, long time. All right, taking the train. I think the light rail is pretty much done. Alright, taking the train. I think the light rail is pretty much dead. So let's see what's going on. University. See, no ticket required. Remember, disease is the cause of food, not the cause of any viruses or bacteria. You know, you gotta be smarter. You have a body that is capable of much more. Look at this. Ghost Town. Ghost Town. You know, just last year I used to work at CBS on Capitol Hill, so I used to be very accustomed to 3rd Street. Used to wait for my bus here every day. Used to run down Madison every day down the hill towards, you know, Pike Place. Everything was so simpler at that time. You know, now you see downtown Seattle as a desolate place, and this might be the model for the future cities. You know, it might be just like this, where you are forced to stay at the house due to a threat of a virus. And the threat of the virus or the symptoms from the virus may be kind of bad, but how society behaves in response to the threat is worse. You know, look at this, it's desolate, everything is desolate. Going through Seattle, saying goodbye to everything on the train. It is a ghost town. You see, everybody is inside. It is quarantine time. Stay inside and don't question anything, because you are not a scientist, you are not a doctor, so you have to listen to the scientists and the doctors, which are in their own world as well, because it's easy for them to say to stay inside. You know, if you have a nice house, if you have amenities, but if you survive on the streets like the majority of America, then this will be a very tough time, because of the notion that the only freedom you have, or the only part of your life which you have control over, is your 2 feet. And if somebody tells you you can't go somewhere when that's all you have, you know, your reaction to having your freedom taken away will be as volatile as the need for your freedom. So if you don't have a need for freedom, then you might be passive in your reaction. But if freedom is all you have, then your reaction might seem animalistic to others. But airport. So airport is about 80% less traffic than it should be. Flights are running, but there's hardly anyone here. So look at this. Airport is dead.
Looking for celebrity passengers day 12. Nadia Shah. Do you wait until blue? Please proceed at P3, Charlie 3, which will be the final boarding announcement.
So as you can see, everything is at a standstill, and for a lot of people this is the first time in their life where they're going to be forced to sit down and think about a lot of the things that they have done, right? So this will be a very overwhelming sensation for a lot of people in society. They might fall into depression, they might fall into a state of panic, they might fall into neuroticism for the most part, because when you have a narcissistic population and when they are forced to think back and recollect on many of the feats that they have accomplished or the mishandlings of situations that they have put themselves through, they come to the conclusion of either being better or they feel so bad about their past that they start to crumble. This will be a make or break time for many people in society. Now, a lot of you are only producing results that are fixed to the level that you are comfortable with. So maybe the only things that you produce is the type of food you want to eat for the day. This will be the only thing that you will ever really produce. A lot of other people may be such efficient producing machines. They can make music, they can make videos, they can write, they can do a lot of different creative things that will keep them busy. So those people will definitely blossom. But to do that, you need to be at peace with yourself, and to get to that point, it's a lifelong mission. And if you are not at peace with yourself, this is a great opportunity to really find yourself and change things about yourself that you don't like. And change can be a very overwhelming experience for many people. There have been reports of cognitive dissonance where when they're faced with a multiple list of facts that go against their ingrained beliefs, they physically get sick. This time, with the forced quarantine, a lot of people will indulge themselves in taking apart different information that they aren't used to taking apart. This difference in information is going to force society as a whole to look at themselves and look at the limits of their own knowledge. Once you look at your own limits, you can come to find that the more you know, the more you can admit that you don't know. And this admission of knowing that you don't know some things goes against the narcissistic personality type, which has afflicted a lot of people in Western society, because the idea of me always trumps the idea of them. Now, being forced to sit down, being forced to indulge in information that you don't normally indulge in, you will come to find yourself getting sick, physically sick, because of this new information that has been presented to you, that maybe you are kind of dirty, maybe you need to wash your hands a little bit more, maybe your day-to-day routines are the cause of your problems. And these facts are sometimes too much for people to take in all at once. So take your time with this. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, this is me, just standing around in the airport wasting time. I was supposed to go to Dallas, Fort Worth, but my flight got changed because of the delay, and I ended up going to California instead. This is Mount Rainier, beautiful mountain. I will conquer one day. Maybe not in the immediate future, but I will conquer it one day. This is me just typing out what I was gonna do in terms of my break. I have a game plan. I want to give people these videos. I want to give a platform to different people. I want to really help people through this time. And maybe through these tidbits of information that I have gathered throughout the years, you can come to find solace in yourself, because the most important thing is to find solace in yourself. As long as you have confidence. Nobody can take that away from you. And during these times, you have to believe in yourself, because we're so used to having people cheer for us in different settings, such as the work setting, or, you know, at school, or even at the grocery store. When we go out to eat with friends, you're so used to having somebody cheering for you. This is the time to cheer for yourself, because look, at the end of the day, you only have yourself. You were born in this world alone, and you will die alone. And perhaps the promise of an impending doom will help you to do a little bit better. Right? A little bit better is the plan. See, this is the plane. We're going across the world. Just going across the world, one step at a time. This is me at California. You know what I'm saying? Alaska Airlines all day. Alaska Airlines. Good company. Their stocks will rise. Spirit, I don't know. Spirit, I don't know. Because I tried to go to the Spirit booth and they were closed. So that was the first company to crumble.
Boarding the airplane now. Pretty much a dead airport. Everything's clean. Boarding the airplane now, pretty much a dead airport. Everything was clean. Let's see what's good.
And shouts out to the air hostess. I forgot her name, but shouts out. She gave me a lot of snacks for this flight. You know, she was a really good host. Thank you. Alright, anyway, so this is us waiting on the runway. Waiting for the world to change. Anyways, you know, this journey has taught me a lot about people. You know, people, they just need a chance to not to talk to you. And unfortunately, this virus scare has given people the perfect chance to cut off all relations with the people that they didn't talk to either way. So, you know, a lot of people are now using the virus as an excuse not to visit their parents, not to talk to their parents, not to, you know, socialize with the elderly. Like, oh, you know, I don't want to put you at risk, when really you have to realize that Allah is the one that brings the sickness, not you. So at the end of the day, you have to always put your trust in the Most High, no matter what. And don't forget to tie your camel, which means you gotta wash your hands, man. You gotta stop being so dirty, man. You gotta take more showers, man. You gotta actually clean up your house, man. You gotta take your shoes off when you come to my house, man. You gotta really put yourself in the field to understand that the field requires a certain type of person. The world requires a certain type of person to thrive. If you are not that type of person, then the world will plot against you. And these viruses, these diseases are a way to eliminate those who are not part of the plan. You know, if you cannot be clean, cleanliness is half of faith, no matter where or what you follow. Cleanliness is very important, so be clean. See? This is California. Yeah, this was actually California. I just put the cut.
Alright, here we are in LA. Just got here. And it is business as usual in LA.
LA, big city of dreams, but everything in LA is not always what it seems. Virgin, Atlanta. Time lapse. You see? Alright, so this is the part where I get to Atlanta.
Alright, so made it to Atlanta. Alright, so made it to Atlanta. No coronavirus. Only thing I got is a pink eye because of the dirty airplane water.
I think it's pink eye, I think it's...
Or it might be like a dried like cornea or something. But my point is no coronavirus, everything is good. You know, everything is great.
Thing
taking a stroll
Smyrna.
in Smyrnaville. You know, Smyrnaville, that's where I chill. So until next time, peace. With my brother. Salamu alaikum, my brother.